My name is Sarah Thompson, and I'm 55 years old, living in a quiet suburb of Chicago with my cozy little house full of books and memories from a life that's been mostly good, but lately, feeling a bit empty ever since my divorce 5 years ago. I work as a librarian at the local community college, and I love surrounding myself with stories of all kinds because they make me feel alive in ways my real life sometimes doesn't. One rainy afternoon in October, I was shelving books in the literature section when this young man approached me asking for help finding something on classic American authors. His name was Jake Harrison, and he was 24 with that fresh out of college look. Bright blue eyes, messy brown hair, and a smile that lit up the whole room. He told me he was taking night classes to finish his degree in English literature after taking a break to travel and figure things out. Something about the way he looked at me, not just asking for a book, but really seeing me, made my heart skip a beat, which hadn't happened in years. We started talking right there among the stacks, and before I knew it, an hour had passed. He was so easy to chat with, full of passion for writers like Hemingway and Fitzgerald, asking my opinions like they really mattered. I recommended a few lesser-known novels, and he lit up saying no one had ever suggested those to him before. As the library was closing, he asked if I'd like to grab coffee sometime to talk more about books, and I surprised myself by saying yes. My friends would probably think I was crazy, a woman my age, going out with someone young enough to be my son, but there was this genuine connection that I couldn't ignore. Our first coffee turned into dinner at a little Italian place downtown, and that's when things started to feel real. Jake opened up about his life growing up in a small town in Ohio, losing his dad young, and how reading had been his escape, just like it was for me after my own hardships. He listened to my stories about raising my kids who are now grown and moved away, about the dreams I had when I was his age that got put on hold for family and career. There was no judgment. In his eyes, only admiration and something deeper, something that made me feel desired in a way I hadn't felt since I was young myself. We laughed over shared quirks like loving old jazz records and hating modern reality TV, and by the end of the night, when he walked me to my car and gently kissed my cheek, I felt butterflies like a teenager. Over the next few weeks, we saw each other more and more. He'd come by the library just to say hi, bringing me flowers or my favorite chai tea latte. We took walks in the park as the leaves turned golden, talking about everything and nothing. One evening after a movie, he came back to my place for wine, and we sat on the couch sharing stories until late. That's when he kissed me properly. Not on the cheek, but a real kiss, soft at first, then deeper and full of passion. I pulled back for a moment, worried about the age difference, about what people might think, but he looked into my eyes and said, "Sarah, age is just a number. What matters is how we make each other feel." And in that moment, I believed him. Being with Jake made me feel alive again. He brought youth and energy into my world, showing me new music and apps on my phone, teasing me gently when I struggled with technology. But it was more than that. He saw the woman I am inside, strong, passionate, and worthy of love, not just the 55-year-old with laugh lines and graying hair. We'd spend weekends cooking together in my kitchen, dancing to Frank Sinatra while pasta boiled, or driving out to the lake just to watch the sunset, holding hands like any other couple. My best friend Lisa raised an eyebrow when I told her, but even she admitted he seemed genuine and caring. Of course, there were challenges. Whispers from some people at work, or stares when we were out in public, but we ignored them, focusing on us. Jake never made me feel old. He made me feel cherished. One night after a particularly romantic dinner he prepared for me, complete with candles and my favorite steak, he told me he was falling in love with me. My heart soared, and I admitted the same to him. We made love that night, slow and tender, exploring each other with wonder and care. It was beautiful, reconnecting with that part of myself that I'd thought was long gone. As winter approached, our relationship deepened. He met my daughter, Emily, over video call, and though she was shocked at first, she saw how happy he made me and came around. Jake's mom was supportive too, saying as long as he's happy, that's what matters. We started dreaming about the future trips we could take, maybe to New York for Broadway shows or California wine country. Life felt full of possibility again. But then came the moment that tested us. Jake got offered a job opportunity in Seattle, a great entry-level position at a publishing house, his dream field. It would mean moving across the country, and he wanted me to come with him. I was torn between the life I'd built here, my job, my home, my friends, and this chance at a new adventure with the man I loved. We talked for hours, weighing the pros and cons, tears in our eyes because neither wanted to lose what we had. In the end, love won. I decided to take the leap, apply for library jobs in Seattle, and see where this journey took us. Packing up my house felt bittersweet, but starting fresh with Jake by my side filled me with hope. As we drove west together, his hand in mine, I looked out at the changing landscape and knew this was the beginning of our story, not the end. Settling into Seattle was an adjustment, but having Jake made it all worthwhile. We found a cute apartment overlooking the water with space for my books and his guitar. I got a job at the university library, and he thrived at his publishing role, coming home excited to share ideas for new authors. Our love grew stronger every day, built on mutual respect and that undeniable chemistry. There were still moments of doubt when I'd catch my reflection and worry about the years between us, but Jake always reassured me with his words and touch. He'd say, "Sarah, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever known inside and out," and I believed him because he showed it every day. We built a life together, exploring the city, hiking in the mountains, trying new foods at the markets. Friends we made accepted us as a couple, no questions about age. My kids visited and saw for themselves how happy we were, even planned a family Thanksgiving with both our families, blending traditions old and new. One spring evening on our anniversary, Jake took me to the Space Needle, where we had our first Seattle date. He got down on one knee and proposed, with a simple, elegant ring, saying he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me no matter what. Tears streaming down my face. I said yes, of course, yes. Our wedding was small and intimate on the beach with close family and friends. I wore a simple white dress, feeling like the bride. I never got to be fully the first time. Jake looked handsome in his suit, promising to love, honor, and cherish me always. And he has. Years have passed now, but our love remains passionate and true. We travel, we laugh, we support each other's dreams. I've published a small book of essays, inspired by our story, and Jake's career has taken off. People sometimes ask about the age difference, but we just smile because what we have is real, deep, and enduring. Looking back, I never imagined at 55 I'd find the love of my life in a 24-year-old, but Jake taught me that love doesn't follow rules. It just happens when two souls connect, and ours did in the most beautiful way. I'm grateful every day for that rainy afternoon in the library that changed everything.